magic seeds, bird plant hybrids, Game Boy robots, and maniacal hair dryers. If this sounds like your idea of a good time, then congratulations, you're a weirdo. But don't fret, kiddo, because you're my kind of weirdo, and I've got all your wacky wants and needs wrapped up in a pretty package, as I review Flying this week on The Signal. Hey guys, Signal Warden here with another episode of The Signal. This week I fluttered my leafy wings and took on the game Flying. Flying is a deceptively cute platformer made by French studio Ankama, whose previous games had mostly been furry-friendly MMORPGs and iOS tower defense games. The visual styling took a turn for the artistic in Flying, but as I said, it's still pretty cute. You start off as a blue seed bird thing who is protecting a natural habitat from the industrial waste of a power-mad hairdryer. You'll enlist and then play as 3 other seed-like creatures, each in their own tree-based world, to collect orbs and magic seeds to defeat the hair care-themed villain. Yeah, I don't understand it either, but we've all played the part of a super-fast hedgehog, a turtle-fighting plumber, and a cream puff with an insatiable appetite, so I'll give him a break on this one. Anyway, you move through levels using various abilities of the different protagonists to navigate obstacles and occasionally solve puzzles until you reach the boss battle at the end of each tree. There aren't any villains throughout the levels, and most of the danger derives from avoiding contact with the industrial waste strewn strategically about, since it will kill you on contact. I'm a keyboard and mouse guy, and given the choice 9 times out of 10, I'll stick with my trusty companions. This game, however, felt horrible playing with the keyboard and mouse. A lot of the actions didn't feel logical and made the game way harder than it should be. I ended up switching to my controller, and I still needed to rebind the buttons to play with any level of comfort. The game attempts to teach you things through environmental tutorials, but it wasn't done to great effect, and for the early levels, even in the Cocoon, which acts as your main menu, things are mostly discovered and decoded through trial and error. From the start, I had an issue with the mechanics of the game. The terrain feels as if it should cater to momentum, where running towards an inverted slope will take you around it and launch you onto a platform, a la Sonic the Hedgehog. However, this is not the case, and running to that slope will just end up with you stopping dead and needing to jump with momentum being non-existent. This counterintuitive style causes the already tricky learning curve to move from cumbersome into the realm of annoying. Eventually, though, you do get the hang of things, and the game moves on. For the most part, your biggest tool is a terrain flipping mechanic where you can alternately collide with or pass through certain terrain, depending on which state you're viewing the game in. This is used to great effect in puzzles, and aesthetically is executed beautifully. The second tool used is the characters themselves. Each of the 4, we'll call them seed things from now on. Each of the 4 seed things has a unique ability you'll use to navigate the world. There's blue seed thing who can sing to cause actions, green seed thing who can turn into a mossy plant and cling to surfaces, orange seed thing who can rocket through midair, and my favorite, black seed thing who turns into an invulnerable bouncy ball. Oftentimes you'll be switching out between Blue and his accomplices to handle a task, and eventually you'll be using all of them back and forth. Even with a slew of different tools at your disposal, some areas can still be incredibly hard. This game is very pretty, and it reminds me of an artsy Craig McCracken cartoon. The soundtrack is a nice accompaniment as well, and while there's no dialogue, the little chirping sounds you get from the characters are fitting and just as cute as they look. Visually, everything is laid out in a clean, obvious way, so there's never confusion about where danger lies. At times, there are superfluous elements that seem like they should be interacted with, but they're just eye candy. The animations are smooth and sparse, but sparse in a good way. Overall, the visuals and sound are well done, and I can't think of anything they would have had to do to improve them. The main reason I'd go back and play this is as Completionist. There is a seed count, and getting every last seed oftentimes involves moving away from your objective, sometimes in time-sensitive areas, which can provide a major challenge. Some of them are hidden as well. There is unlockable bonus content as well, which will give you something to do once you've completed the main campaign. The game will take about 6 to 8 hours to beat the main campaign, but with the bonus objectives, you're looking at an additional 4 to 6 hours, so you'll get a lot of playtime out of it. Now, as nice as this game is, there is one glaring issue I have with it, and that is the difficulty is inconsistent. Some levels you could do with your eyes closed, whereas others border on Super Meat Boy levels of hell. Now, I have nothing against crazy hard platformers. In truth, I love them. but they should be consistent and an expected part of the game, where these are not. A few of these spots are rage-inducing and tend to be far harder than the actual boss fights. I cannot recall the last time I flung such a massive string of F-bombs towards something so cute. Oh. Anyway, between those sporadic peaks in difficulty, the confusing start, and the slightly off controls in this game, there will be more than a few players needing to walk away for a little bit. This makes up maybe 10% of the game though, and if you can push through that, you'll find a sweet, clever, and enjoyable game beyond it. After everything, I will say that the game was a lot of fun, and if you're looking for a new platformer with some interesting mechanics, this might be the game for you. Just don't expect a calming experience from it. You can purchase Flyin' right now on Steam for your Windows PC. Now before I wrap up, you may have noticed I didn't give this game a rating. I decided to move away from the rating system because, as this game demonstrates, a number wouldn't mean much because every game is dependent on your own personal tastes. I could give this game a 5 because I don't like the issues it had. Someone else would give it a 9 because those things didn't matter to them at all. I could give it a 9 because I thought it was fun and good looking, and someone else would give it a 2 because of the difficulty at certain points. So with that, I'm gonna make my reviews and let you decide where it falls on your own personal scale. So that brings us to the end of the review. Don't forget to tell me what you thought of this game and the review in the comments section, and remember to subscribe to the channel to get my weekly reviews and bonus content. Like The Signal on Facebook and follow on Twitter for updates, recommendations, and lots of contests and giveaways. Play along during scheduled events on livestream as I play leading up to my weekly reviews. I'm Signal Warden. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week on The Signal.